What's up mga ka-eksena? Welcome back to my world, Elmer's World, where we vlog about music and subculture in our local scene here in the Philippines, or what we call OPM. Speaking of subculture, stylized as subculture to be exact, we can easily associate a certain word with goth. Now what is goth, by the way? Goth is a subculture that began in the United Kingdom during the early 1980s. It was developed by fans of gothic rock, an offshoot of the post-punk music genre. The name goth was derived directly from the genre. Notable post-punk artists who presaged the gothic rock genre and helped develop and shape the subculture include Sushi and the Banshees, Bauhaus, The Cure, and Joy Division. The goth subculture has survived much longer than others of the same era, and has continued to diversify and spread throughout the world. Its imagery and cultural proclivities indicate influences from 19th century literature of the same name and horror films. The scene is centered on music festivals, nightclubs, and organized meetings, especially in Western Europe. The subculture has associated tastes in music, aesthetics, and fashion. World Goth Day is observed on May 22. The official World Goth Day site defines it as a day where the goth scene gets to celebrate its own being and an opportunity to make its presence known to the rest of the world. World Goth Day originated in the United Kingdom in 2009. BBC Radio 6 was looking at a number of music subcultures throughout a week in May, including goth music. Goth DJs, Cruel Britannia, and Martin Oldgoth declared it Goth Day. They decided that May 22 would be the day each year to observe World Goth Day. World Goth Day celebrates the subcultural aspects of goth subculture. Aspects of the culture like fashion, music, and art are celebrated by fashion shows, art exhibitions, and music performance. Goths are a bunch of people who find beauty in all things dark. There are a multitude of subcultures all around, but goth is the definition of aesthetic. The scene draws fashion statements from the New Romantic period, Victorian era, and Belle Epoque. The goth subculture in the Philippines are like bats hidden in a cave. The goth scene here is hidden underground, lurking in the shadows of darkness, waiting to be accessed by those who continually seek. And through my constant seeking, I found a blog spot called Little Black Bloody Hood that posts everything about goth subculture in the Philippines. The fact that the scene is very few here is evident due to some reasons like the tropical climate, which states that wearing black clothing can only make you feel sweaty and uncomfortable, due to the fact that black clothing absorbs a lot of heat. Another reason is the prominence of religious people, particularly Christians, which may ridicule such subcultures. Even though the scene's number are few, you cannot really belittle the music scene. Filipino Gothic bands per se can compete to world-renowned Gothic bands. Some of these play on the annual Gothic gathering Eternal Death Wake. Now before we begin, I would just like to tell you that the bands that made it on this list are in my top 5. I've had a hard time thinking which is top notch, but these bands are considered to be my top 5 favorites. Let me know what's your top 3 Gothic bands in the comment section below. Shout out to all Goths and Gothic fans out there. Now without further ado, let's just jump right into the countdown. Number 5 in this list is the Gothic metal band ASYLUM Escape, which released their debut single, You're Teasing Me. And here is their biography from Reverb Nation. ASYLUM Escape is a Gothic metal band based in the South, signed under Chrysler Records. Founded on December 21, 2012, in less than a year, the band ASYLUM Escape has been signed to an international label and has performed with some of the country's best bands and bars. Not to forget, Mention played alongside notable international bands as well. Slapshock, Mr. Bones and the Boneyard Circus, Paramita, David vs. Goliath, Willa Baliw, Slash and Burn, Tanya Markova, The Chunkies, Jurassic Pards are some of the big local acts that the band has shared the stage with, and not forgetting the international band Age of Sinfonia. Sagiho B-Side Handlebar, Ingos Bar, BKB Sazis Bar, South Bar, Ririko Bar, Club Z are just few of the venues that the band played at, not forgetting SMX Convention Center at SM Mall of Asia. Also had their first radio interview at Dig Radio with the BJ Show. Rakista Jam 39 and Backdoor Ventures Music Arts Festival are two of the great events that helped put the band on the music scene. But it is Elysian Darkfest Series Tres that truly is the glorious moment for the band, for it sealed their name as true metal artists and children of Chrysler Records. And now the kick-off of Elysian Darkfest Series. Quatuor will double the pleasure, performing with international band Sakrath and Rough Hausen, and sister bands Cremus, ANHURA, High in Mist, and Serenus. What else can you ask for? A rough demo of the original song You're Teasing Me was recorded under Paga Manikan Studio. The band finally finished recording a new kick-ass version of their song You're Teasing Me, acoustic and studio version under the musical genius of Mr. Jolen Mingi, owner of Chrysler Records. The band's first single will be released on October 27, 2012 at the Elysian Quatuor, and studio recording for the full album is in the pipeline right after the said event. Deda Von Miseria was nominated at 2012 Stig Awards Best Female Vocalist. A lot more is in store for the band. Little by little, they are pushed to greater heights, and sooner or later, this once local metal band will be an international success. The Evolution Rock Metal podcast interview of their singer Dylan Velitz states that some of their influences are the band Him and Marilyn Manson. Number 4 on this list are the forerunners of the Filipino-styled gothic rock. The band is called Dominion, and during my first listen, I easily associate this band with the likes of Bauhaus and The Cure. Done a little bit of a research and I found out that this band cites British bands and artists such as The Cure, The Sisters of Mercy, The Cult, Bauhaus, Peter Murphy, and Fields of the Nephilim as major influences, and is indeed evident in their sound. Some of Dominion's songs are in Tagalog like Luksa and Mandirigma.
It's a glowing light to which she's drawn to follow that path. A thundering God is the beat of her heart.
Within Temptation, Nightwish, or Evanescence, I don't know who their influences are, but ANHURA is a band that surprised me during my first listen of their song Cross Paths. This band is underground, and I think most of their live performances are on nightclubs. Here is a little bit of bio of them from Reverb Nation. The brain and heart, two essential parts of humanity, cannot do without if we are to survive. ANHURA have taken this concept and extended it in their music, further exploring the marriage of thoughts and feelings, inventing music not extremely based on theory but on feelings, experimentation, improvisation, and experience. Through this vision, their music transcends boundaries and limitations. Everything seems possible, makes absolute sense, since music is infinite and boundless. ANHURA's music is a journey, and to where the destination will be is to his or her own. Their music takes you on a ride while your eyes are closed. Your limitation will only be your own imagination. It's a fusion of the diverse emotions that we, ourselves, embody our lives with. The bliss and madness, the love and suffering, the rise and fall, the beauty and chaos, equilibrium. The name ANHURA, based on the band's research, comes from the Aramaic term that means light or lunar light. They chose this name mainly because their songs reflect a certain aura, that of one's search for the elusive light and its true meaning in life. The philosophy in general is that we are always in search for something in our life that would make us feel significant in this world, the vital something that would make us complete and fulfilled. ANHURA tends to express, address, and manifest this through the music they create. The sound in general dwells, but is not limited to a mix of classical, folk, and progressive, built on a rock backbone. The vocal lines are powerful, ethereal, and melodic, full of emotions, complementing the message and the music itself. Listen, be a fragment, and take flight. ANHURA's two albums entitled Bipolar Dreams and Trinity, A Journey Within. goth and shoegaze is equal to skies of ember. But before we tackle the band itself, let us just define shoegaze. Shoegaze, a genre originating in 80s England, now international, defined by highly distorted guitars and vocals, usually high and breathless or low in the mix, sometimes absent. A psychedelic style, but not trippy. Psychedelic, more a dreamy, distant feel. Pioneered by My Bloody Valentine, but few bands actually sound like them anymore. Loud guitars and quiet vocals is a usual dynamic. Shoegaze is defined by a certain guitar sound, so electronic bands such as M83 would not be considered shoegaze, but could fit into the related genre of dream pop. Shoegaze comes from the use of distortion, pedals, to achieve a dreamy/psychedelic sound. Agimat.net provided a short bio of the band which states, SOE, or Skies of Ember, started back in the mid-90s before the fall of the great Club Dread. Back then, they played mostly impromptu sets. After a while, though spontaneity becomes a song. The band comes from the ashes of Blinded by Love, a post-ethereal/shoegazer group. In those days, they were young, seductive like teenage porn stars. Dotseki founded the Skies of Ember. After the Great Fall, the band released a 6-song demo EP, The Lost April Shadows. It led the group to a strange and more fruitful projects, the Mutual Admiration Society compilation and the Uno Documento Compilo, which both been released overseas. The band weaves blood-stained tales about the divine, dark love, and moments of hopeful despair.
the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
The late Isabel made it top-notch on this list. An amazing 5-piece post-punk, art rock, goth band from Manila. This band is haunting with their song rendition of My Favorite Things by Richard Rodgers and Hammerstein. Major goosebumps during my first listen. I think this band transcends time period with the vintage aesthetic evident on their MVs. A little bit of info about them is given on Offshore Music. The late Isabel. What started out in 2000 as an old-school goth rock experiment for 4 fiercely individual souls has metamorphosed into a kaleidoscope of sounds that has held the band's cult following in thrall. Over the many possibilities of a late Isabel song where it can take them deep inside themselves and imagining the girl that haunts and creeps in the band, capturing the imagination of Filipino listeners with their debut album Doll's Head in 2004, and again with a stronger art rock side with Lackadaisical EP on 2012. They climax into their forthcoming second album Imperial on 2017, a journey through vastly different soundscapes, with the late Isabel achieving its ambition to still write songs that exist outside trends and indeed outside of time. If you haven't listened to them yet, give this band a try. And you cannot probably tell if they are Filipinos. The female singer's voice kinda suits into musical place. And that is how goth subculture can be edgy. It covers different forms of art, from music, fashion, literature, and films. Let me know what you think about goths. And if you're into goth, let me know what is your favorite Filipino goth band down in the comments section below. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Now if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, comment down for a shout out, share, follow me on my socials. The link will be down below in the descriptions. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell button for more updates on my upcoming videos. If you want to know more about the music scene here in the Philippines, you can watch my other videos here and here. That's it for this video. I'll see you next time.
What's your